culture is a big part of what makes successful programs. John, you've preached that forever, and so it's like you got to create that culture. Then there's a pride in that when you get the culture right and get everything right, and the kids buy into everything that goes into being a successful player, which it goes right down to teamwork and working out and being right on time and all those things that really matter, little things that matter. And when you get that started and it gets ingrained, then they come in knowing it's going to happen, which is a really fantastic thing. And welcome to this edition of the 941 Sports Zone. I'm John Mastoni here with my partner on the other side of the desk, John Peacock, and our very special guest, Mr. Scotty Littles, Booker High School head football coach. Scotty, thanks for being here tonight. We really do appreciate it. We want to prick your brain about some football and some other good stuff as much as we can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys having me on, and very excited to represent Booker and our school and our program, and just appreciate the platform and the opportunity.
Thank you very much for being here again. With that, we'll do our recap from last week's show, and I know we're not supposed to talk too much.
We can't talk. Yeah,
we're not going. We're skipping. We're
golf.
skipping it. It's all over with. But we did talk about some golf stuff last week. That is sort of still doing what it's doing, and we'll talk about some other golf stuff later on with the U.S. Open being played this
Your
week.
prediction hit.
On which one?
The
now?
basketball.
Yes, the Nuggets in 5. Definitely my prediction did hit on that one. I did not hit on the hockey one, though. And that ended up being sort of an ugly 9-3 Game 5 for the Vegas Golden Knights over the Florida Panthers. But the Nuggets did win, and then through one heck of a parade, they got it going on.
Yeah, they did.
And then the guys from Vegas, they went a little further and got even crazier.
Well, I'm sure the Vegas parade would have been nice to go to.
Oh, that must have been. Now I don't know. Have you been to Vegas?
No, I actually have not been to Vegas. It's definitely on the bucket list, though.
I could see
It's
where
the
Vegas.
best place in the world, by the way.
I could imagine.
I know John's been there a few times. With that, we're going to go local with our start here with our local conversation. And Coach Littles, this is where you get to kind of talk a little bit about your program, right. Just to kind of run down some things. I know this is your third head coaching job at Booker, and you coached in Suffolk, Virginia, and then also at Palm Beach Central, where you got 2 district championships.
Something interesting about Suffolk, Virginia, is Coach Littles beat Oscar Smith.
Oh, well, we should start there then.
Yeah, so when we went up there, did you play them at their place?
No, they actually came to us. So a little bit about the area, the Tidewater area, is very talented.
We went up there and
remember
played.
that.
Yeah.
I remember that. So Oscar Smith is the dominant program in that area. And had a great run, and still to this day they win a bunch of games and stuff. So my second year, 2017, we were making our schedule, and me being a young head coach and I guess not knowing no better, they asked, well, where are you going to put Oscar Smith on the schedule? Because it was our turn to host and create the schedule.
Sure.
And I told him, I said, look, let's put him the last week, for all the marbles, district title, district team. Up there, it's a little different. Down here, you play 4 or 5 district games. Up there, you play 9, and you get 1 out of district game. And they had won like 99 games in a row. Great program. Richard Morgan's now the coach at Marietta out in Georgia.
Okay.
He's done a great job with that program. And it was a battle. It was 2-0 at halftime. We were losing. And, back and forth, they had some great players and, just went on to play a lot of, good football, and came down to a goal line stop, and our kids found a way to kind of rally and get the job done. And
nice.
It was a great experience.
Did you ever get a chance to play there?
Yeah. We played at Oscar Smith that next year, and all our seniors graduated. So it didn't go too well. But
so you got to experience the cage.
For sure. As a player in high school, I played at Lansdowne High School for Chris Beatty, who's now the receiver coach for the Chargers. And I played high school football with Percy Harvin. We were 48-4 in 4 years, and went to 3 straight state championships. So we played Oscar Smith every year.
So you're used to the cage.
The cage is it's
a great legit.
It's a legit entrance. If you've never experienced it, you should go on YouTube and check it out. They blast the music, they get the smoke going, and the kids run out of it.
Yeah, we weren't ready for that. I don't think we.
They had a packed house, and they had us. We're lined up. They were getting us. They had us lined up for kickoff return. And they ain't come out the field yet. So all of our kids are sitting there looking at it. So it was that was kind of a little intimidating for them, I think.
It's definitely intimidating. I think, like I said, they're a great program, and they do a good job of building their program and their brand. And in that area, man, those kids, that S, man, it means something.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And they see that S on the side of the helmet. It's definitely a tradition thing. So, shout out to Oscar Smith, and what they're doing. Chris Scott's the coach there now, and he's won a couple state titles and had a great run, and so a lot of good football back in Suffolk, Virginia.
No,
Hampton Roads.
definitely a hotbed. And they had a great fan base. I mean, like I said, they packed the house that night, and we had a hurricane that night though. That was a weird night altogether. A hurricane blew through. We had some weird calls and
Weird calls. Yeah, definitely some weird calls.
with all that being the case. And then of course, I know you've had 2 stints as an assistant coach at Booker along the way. So kind of chronicle that for us a little bit.
Yeah, my journey's kind of been up and all over the place. Graduated college, played at Bridgewater College for Mike Clark, small Division III school in the Northern Virginia area. Was an assistant at Booker. Worked in the building as like a permanent sub, fresh out of college. And then, kind of bounced around a little bit, went to Tampa, back to Booker. And then at 26, I got the chance to be the head coach at Kings Fork High School in Suffolk, Virginia. And, Kings Fork was a basketball school. Had won 2 state titles in basketball. Just recently won another one. And we were able to convince all the basketball kids to play football. and we had a 3-year run where we had a lot of success. We ended up losing the regional championship in 17. And then I had the opportunity to go down to Palm Beach Central. My wife is from this area. My wife is from Bradenton.
Gotcha.
So, we wanted to get back to Florida having kids. And, so we get down to Palm Beach Central. Coach Tino I really did a great job with that program. And we went in and kind of put our twist on it and, had a lot of success, had a lot of really good players. And then, ended at Palm Beach Central and got a call, and the rest is history. And
back to the West Coast.
Back to the West Coast at the Booker High School.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. I mean, it's like all those little twists and turns, like you said, you just never know where you're going to end up, and then you get a chance to get back where you really want to be, and that's a fantastic opportunity at Booker High School for sure. And Coach will tell you from over all the years, Booker's always been that program. That we know that if when they're right and everything gets going right, it's an unbelievable setting, an unbelievable deal for that situation. So I know you're in a bit of a rebuilding process, and how's that going for you as far as that?
I mean, I would say we're on the right track. I mean, when I took over, we had 20 kids in the program. Yeah. We're now 85 in the program. We have a JV team this year, which Booker hasn't had in a while. Mm-hmm. So we're definitely excited about that. And we're just building every day. We went 6-4 last year. We lost 4 games by 11 points, so we're 12 points away from being 10-0.
There you go.
So went to the playoffs and lost by 3 to a team that ended up losing in the regional final. And so we're excited where we're at. We return a lot of really good players. Josiah Booker is advertised in the area, 15 Division I offers. He was just out in California at the National 7-on-7 tournament.
Great.
Ahmad Hunter, is a big-time player for us, plays running back. Alex Diaz comes over. He's going to play some quarterback for us. We return a host of defensive players in, Dejian Walton, Jason Thomas, A. Brown, Eugene Hicks, Silas Jones, Jordan Rackey came over. So we return about 8 starters on defense, and we're really excited to see where that goes and see what they can create. Kevontae Hugan plays defensive end for us, a rising sophomore. He has 6 Division I offers, and so he's a big time player, and we're excited and see what we can continue to build.
That sounds like you got to kind of put it together real quick, and that's fantastic. You guys are in 2S, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, Booker's always going to have talent, right? And the program's always going to be, talent rich as long as you do it the right way and give them something to want to be a part of, and that's what we're trying to build. So, but 2S, and I think we might be, if not mistaken, John, the smallest school. Cardinal Mooney probably has us beat, but one of the smaller schools in our area, and compete against a bunch of bigger schools that are 4S and 3S. And
is Mooney? Are they 1S or are they?
I'm not sure. Are there 2S or 1S?
I think they're 1. I'm not sure. I don't think they're definitely not 2S.
No, and then I know how it breaks down like ODA and those other schools. They play sort of a different deal as well. So but no, as far as competitively speaking, you guys probably are going to be because I know the 1S's for the most part. Some of them are ones that are the rural ones up in the Panhandle.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot there.
And they break that down too. So that's By the way, how do you like the new the way that they've done everything as far as classcations are concerned? You like the 2S, the 2M, or do you prefer the old 8A, 7A? I know John's opinion on that, right, John?
For me, I hadn't put a lot of thought into it. I think it's kind of something I can't control.
Right.
I try to put my focus and energy into the things that I can control directly. But I think it has its benefits. I think it has its downfalls. I think for a program like where John is, where he's fishing to find, the best, players the best teams to play, it can be a negative. Whereas,
Yeah, I think it's really positive for you guys because you guys get in a situation to where we were in with St. Thomas, and there's a whole bunch of schools that are your size that are private schools. In my opinion of it, they shouldn't have split public schools. I thought they should have split the private and public because that's the uneven or the they play by a different set of rules. And what I mean is, a kid can live wherever he wants to live and go play at St. Thomas, and that's not the case for us.
Right.
So, and now they can even go to a non-traditional school and then go play at St. Thomas or any other private schools.
Correct.
To me, like you got Plantation and all those small schools, Champagnat, that might have 50 kids in the school, but 35 of them might be Division I football players. It's just not fair.
Yeah,
it just really
well,
isn't.
and that's the thing. You see it all the time. It's not necessarily the classifications for the best team. That doesn't matter down there.
It does not. It doesn't
matter.
At
You
all.
can be. I mean, there. And we say St. Thomas was a 7A school, but
like we talked
there's
about,
a 3A school.
The biggest schools in South Florida aren't any good.
No,
they're not.
Yeah.
They're not real good. Some of them are. They don't even go into the FHSA. They go independent.
Right.
Because all the good players are at Central, Northwestern. All those schools we heard of.
But it does, the flip side of that is you do get like a Miami Central having to play an American Heritage, in the regional final. Or
Right.
Final Four.
Yeah, like I said, they're not going to change it because it was packed last year. And then, and on top of that, all the games were close. So I don't see them changing that.
Right.
And I think some of those schools didn't like it either because now they were forced to play each other.
Well, all the state championships were around South Florida. Now it's kind of, it can be anywhere.
So that's what it was. I think the study said that at some point in time there was only 4 state championships, one outside of any metro area, 2 by Venice, 1 by Lakeland, and the 4th one was, I'm trying to remember who it was now, but it was 4 champ in 11 years.
Right.
So they're saying to themselves, we're not giving these other places a chance to even get there because of the sort of the
But all last
population.
year's games were really, really good football games.
Oh, no doubt. And I didn't get a chance to go, but you guys went to the game that had like
Central Plantation.
Yeah.
Our American Heritage.
Yeah.
We left. We thought it was over, and then they came back and made it really tight at the very end.
So yeah, that's definitely, and I know that helps a lot down there too because they'll get the packed houses down there in Lauderdale for those championship games. Although I heard something they might be flipping out of there again this year. Is that something you guys heard?
They haven't announced that yet.
I haven't heard nothing like that. I just kind of try to focus on.
Yeah, no, that's way far ahead.
For sure.
That's always.
I don't know why
they
haven't announced that yet, but it takes them a while to get a venue and get all that stuff in place. But yeah, Coach, you've done an awesome job building the brand there for sure. I mean, you might have upset some people by doing it, but I thought hats off to you. Like you have really come in and kind of made Booker relevant again, and hats off to you. You've done a great job.
No, I appreciate that, and we have the support, with our principal, Dr. Shelley, and
for sure,
the community, alumni like Keith DeBose and Walter Spikes, and
big deal, man, having that backing
for sure. Those guys are definitely behind us, and excited about just where the program's going. We got a brand new turf field, a brand new field house, a brand new track, brand new uniforms, brand new equipment. So we definitely have had the backing of the community to put the brand on the field and give the kids something they want to be a part of.
Is the turf in?
Yes, turf is in and done. They're finishing the track now, and they should be breaking ground on the field house any day.
What's the fill in the turf? Is it the cedar?
It's the wood chips, the cedar. Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't. They say that's supposed to keep the field cooler by like 20 degrees or something like that. But I tell you what, I was just out there today looking at it, and you still can see the steam from the other end zone when you stand in one. So
that stuff is slippery too.
It's gonna be a change for our kids for sure. We'll still practice on the grass for away games and just to kind of take care of their bodies from time to time. But I mean, I tell you what, I'm not gonna complain about having it. We're definitely excited about having it. It looks great. They did a great job. They redid our scoreboard. So we definitely, I'd say our facilities are top notch, and that's one thing that this area does that maybe where I recently come from. The school district's putting money into our facilities, and we're definitely excited about that and appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. And like I said, and that the atmosphere up there, and again, having all the things that to be right for the program. That's a big factor. I know Venice is supposed to get their field next year. Is that still on the docket, or is that because I have to check
I'm
once
not
a
real
week?
happy about it, but yeah, don't feel turf.
Yeah, but it's inevitable because there's so many more games are being played. The sports with lacrosse and all these other.
Yeah, there's
sports.
definitely positives to it, but overall, it's I don't know.
Well, we'll see. Maybe 2 years from now we're like, we love it. You never know.
Never know.
Yeah, that's true.
Scheduling for you guys. How was your scheduling? Are you happy with your schedule this year? I mean, district wise, I know you got some district games, but outside of district, how'd you guys line up some folks?
I kind of inherited the schedule last year, and
Okay.
we're kind of on a 2-year deal with some folks,
Sure.
in which so we'll get a true autonomy over the schedule after this year. But I'm excited about some of the teams we play. I mean, we've added some tougher competition, and Tampa Berkeley Prep, they're a really good program.
Oh yeah.
We opened up with a Mockley, and I don't know how they've been lately, but that was used to be a big name in the state.
Don't want to go down to play Clewiston or Immokalee, that's for sure.
For sure. I mean, Booker's going to always play Cardinal Mooney.
Yep.
So we're excited.
Michael, you're
going
to get that single wing.
Yeah, we're ready. We're excited.
Riverdale coach.
Oh, you went there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from Apopka, so that's you gonna get the
Oh,
Apopka.
okay. So I gotcha. I gotcha.
So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a good challenge. We have 7 home games this year, so
That's good.
We're excited about that, and we're going to play every year the traditional teams. Booker always plays Southeast. We got Wiregrass Ranch on the schedule. We got to go to them, which if you've been following Twitter, they've improved. They've gotten some good players in the program now, and so we're excited about that one, and then we'll continue to just build and go from there.
So you guys play in Riverview?
No, we are not on the schedule at Riverview this year, and it is not for a lack of want to per se. But I don't know if there's enough time in this segment to get into all that.
Oh, you want them to play Riverview?
100%.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, no, and that's good because I think
let me touch on that real
yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
If you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Booker, Sarasota, Riverview should play every year. There's no reason why. It's the same communities with the same kids, and especially with the way the rules are now, those 3 programs should play every year. And
I agree.
You got Sarasota?
Correct. I want to make that perfectly clear that those 3 programs should play no matter what. I don't care if Booker's 1-29 or 29-1, or if Riverview's 30-0 or 0-30. Those teams should play regardless, and it should become kind of like a tradition thing because we all share the same kids.
And now wasn't that kind of the way it was before though, John? Then they all play each other up in Sarasota. How's that go?
Yeah, I think when I first took over, I think everyone in the area played each other. We played Sarasota, Riverview, Booker, all of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
I was going to say we were
up
the Booker
until,
a few
up
times.
until a couple years ago, the last
Was
area
good.
team that beat us was Booker.
Yeah, exactly.
What year was that?
My first year, 07. Beat
As
us.
the head coach, 07, right? Was 07 your first year as the head coach?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they beat us on the double pass.
That's right.
Yeah.
To the kid who went and played D1, the receiver.
No, he was gone.
Okay, he was gone.
Yeah, but no,
Talking about Sam.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
I
double.
think he was 06.
Double pass late in the game. We knew something was going on. They hadn't had that motion all year, and they
Those used to be sellout games now. Booker Venice, those used to be standing room only games.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I remember going. Being up there, was it 05, 06 up and we had the rainstorm. There was all kinds of stuff happening, and so I remember those games are standout games for me. I remember all of those games, and there was always a packed house. That's what I was saying. We're used to playing Booker in a packed house.
And then the year they had Sam, Terrence Jones, all those guys that they're really good. We were actually up 14-0 at half, and they came back and smoked us.
Yeah, that team was special. The Terrence and Sam and them, they had some really good players. And shout out to Coach Gilmore, a legend.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Did a great
Great
job.
guy.
And he's still around. And our kickoff classic is named after him, so it's the Fred Gilmore Kickoff Classic. We do a big deal, and they're having a big tailgate party for him, and it's gonna be a good event. That's the week we play Cardinal Mooney that week actually. So.
Nice, very nice. Just got through spring practices. How'd that go for you as well?
Nah, it went great. I mean, like I said, we're 85 kids in the program. We have more freshmen involved with our program than from what I've been told over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. So we're super excited about that. And then, like I said, our returning players are just buying into our culture,
Good,
buying into the way we do things. We try to build a culture. Everywhere I've been, I've tried to build a culture where you love what you do.
Yeah.
Right? It's not what you do, but how you do it. And we bleed the purple and gold. We scream the soda name, and buying into that culture and who we are, and just living it and breathing it, and working hard to achieve success.
The culture is a big part of what makes successful programs. John, you've preached that forever, and so it's like you got to create that culture. Then there's a want to. There's a pride in that when you get the culture right and you get everything right, and the kids buy into everything that goes into being a successful player, which it goes right down to teamwork and working out and being right on time, right, and all those things that really matter, little things that matter. And when you get that started, and it gets ingrained, then they come in knowing it's going to happen, which is a really fantastic thing.
Who won 2S last year in the state championship?
Coco.
Oh, Coco. That's right.
Coco's a really good team.
We play them. We got Coco.
First game of the year. Second game. Armwood, then Coco.
Right. Second game.
And then Coco. So
you guys got them home or away?
Away.
Gotcha. How many home games do you have this year?
8.
There you go.
So that's the way. If you can do that,
we got Coco. Well, we actually got 9 with the kickoff classic. We got Coco and Northwestern on the road.
And Northwestern's on a Saturday, right? That's like
Northwestern's going to be on Saturday. Yeah.
Trask Powell.
Yep. Yeah. Love Trask Powell. Last time they turned the air on us, though. So we got in the contract that they have to have the air on for us. It was about 135 degrees in that locker room.
They said it wasn't working right or something.
It's a different world down there.
It is. Sure.
When the principal and they all walked and said, "Man, we don't have any air," and they just started laughing like, "You don't have air?" Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah,
that's funny.
There's no doubt. Well, real quick, we talked a little College World Series last week. And we talked about some of the local kids that we know from Venice that were playing, and they've both contributed at this point. Merrick Houston with Wake Forest to a 3-2 win over Stanford, and Michael Robertson with the catch and the game on last night, this was Sunday night, against Oral Roberts to win 5-4 to put them in the winners bracket, having to have the other teams. It's TCU and
so what do we got to do to have them face each other? They got to win it, right?
College,
they win their bracket.
It's the finals. They'll play.
So they got to win the
finals.
bracket they're in right now, and Merrick has to win the bracket he's in right now.
Right. So the key to that's going to be is if Wake can beat LSU next game, which they do that, then they get the same advantages that Florida has. And
they play tonight.
Yes, the Monday night. They're playing Monday night.
Our punter's a shortstop. He's a phenomenal athlete. He was a great punter. He was the best punter in the area, but he only punted 10 times that year.
Yeah.
But he's unbelievable, like great warm-up. Like I think one game he punted 3 times, and like the rest of the year he punted 7 times. So the next 14 games he punted 7 times.
Yeah. So he's there, and like I said, so we'll see what happens. If they can meet, that'd be fantastic. That'd be a pretty cool deal. Got one of those shirts that have half Wake Forest, half Florida on there. One of those things.
Well, that'd be really cool if they play each other.
Yeah. So those two guys are performing well, and they're winning, and so we'll see if that can continue.
Robertson could have been a good football player.
Yeah.
But he didn't play.
Fast.
Yeah.
Quarterback kind of.
He could have been a good player.
Could have been that guy. And you figure, Wayne said he never pushed him towards anything, so that's always good.
Yeah, no, he was all bought into baseball, but I think he played quarterback as a younger kid.
I think he might have. Yeah. No doubt. All right, with that, we'll take our first break of the night. Again, we're here at Douglas Jeep, the home of the 941 Sports Zone. Thanks to Monty Jacobs and his host staff. They look like they're hopping today, selling a lot of cars. That's good for them, and hopefully they continue on with their success. With that, we'll take our first break. Be back here with the 941 Sports Zone in a few minutes.
It's the Out of This World sales event at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram, and we just launched the most stellar deals of the year. It's Jeep season, so blast off in the new Jeep Compass Limited from only $339 per month, or leave the world behind in the new Jeep Grand Cherokee from $429 per month. It's Ram season, so shoot for the stars in the new Ram 1500 Quad Cab from only $369 per month. Don't miss the Out of This World sales event going on now at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram in Venice. Who has Out of This World savings? Douglas does!
Welcome back to Douglas Jeep and the 941 Sports Zone, and we're going to continue a little bit more on the local side here with Coach Littles. We're talking into a little bit about scheduling and whatnot, and he talked about the traditional scheduling and other things. But in regards to rivalries, I mean, that's part of the thing we talk about scheduling and traditions. Like so when you don't schedule each other, they're sort of like the rivalries go away. And you even said it, 1-29 or 29-1, you want to play the other team because it's a rival. And when you can't schedule them. Your opinion. I mean, is that part of the deal? You want to keep that sort of that tradition going, and then there's going to come a time when when 1-29 turns into 29-1 if the cards are played right.
No, I just think I think John touched on it earlier. How it used to be is I think all teams in this area should play each other.
Yeah.
I think especially in Sarasota, like we shouldn't skip over a Sarasota County school to go play a Manatee County school if that team needs a game. So I think for me. I'm trying to play everybody and anybody. I'm trying to build our program back to where we can compete against anybody and everybody. And I think we're on the right direction. And just really excited about where our kids are and, what we're building. And, our kids truly love what we're doing and how we do it. And, we're just trying to, reach the mountaintop.
I think another big part of that is the revenue side.
That's also
you know what I mean?
Like,
absolutely
you're playing,
right. You're playing local schools. I mean, you look back, gosh, when I first started coaching, like, Lemon Bay was a rival.
It was.
And then Charlotte's always been a rival. And like they won't play us anymore.
Right.
And it was never, and I don't think our Charlotte games ever really, they never really got out of control. Like it was always good games, no matter how good we were or how bad we were or how vice versa.
We played them on regional TV down there one time, and their fans were coming over and because we were good that year.
We smoked them.
Yeah.
But that's the same year that they beat us in the playoffs.
Absolutely right.
And that's what I was going. Playoffs.
We beat them 61-24 or something like that.
Yep.
And
Dree Archer got hurt.
And their fans were coming up trying to get autographs from Dree and Trey Burton, and they're all good about it. And then they came back, and we had an injury, a big injury, obviously to Dree.
That was the knee, the knee game.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
We were up. What were we up 2? Or no, we were up 4 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Punted to him with like 2 minutes left. Punter catches it on his knee, and then our guys kind of pull up. He stands up and runs a touchdown. Over.
I think just to piggyback off what John says, being the athletic director at Booker High School as well, I couldn't agree with him more. I just think, if Booker plays Riverview, it's a big gate. We'll make $15,000 on a home game, and so will they.
Right.
I think when Sarasota, like we played Sarasota last year, it was one of our biggest gates, at home, and so it's definitely a revenue thing, and we're definitely looking forward to putting our program in a situation where it's no longer Booker might not be good enough or Booker might not be this. Well, let's play and find out.
Right.
Let's play and find out and go from there.
We played state semifinals 2 years in a row, once against Miami Columbus, and then the other one was against Buchholz last year, right? But everybody, the game you remember is Riverview the week before. I mean, it's when you play them in the regular season, you play them in the playoff. That's the game that stands out, and then you get.
I don't think they want to remember that.
Well, but I'm saying is that the tradition and the rivalry and the gate and the crowd, everything goes into it,
wasn't it?
No, Coach, it was 56 to 7.5.
The first one was the score of the first one.
Oh no, that wasn't last year.
No.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
You guys played them at Sarasota this year, right?
Yeah, we played them at Sarasota.
Yeah.
What? It got close to the end. They blocked the punt at the end.
Yeah, but again,
it was close, but it wasn't close.
But the whole thing is, what we're talking about here, like he's talking like an AD now instead of a coach. But it's good.
Let me put my hat back.
Yeah, there you go.
But it was a good crowd, though.
It was a great crowd. That's what you want to have, and everybody's buzzing about it. It's like you could feel it. Now, don't get me wrong, any playoff game brings a little bit of that, but you get multiple games like that. Everybody's fired up for those games.
No, for sure. I think it'd be good for business, as they say in the business world. And, I think, at the end of the day, I think the area will eventually get back to a point where, Riverview plays Booker and, Venice will play Booker. And because my last time I coached at Booker, I remember we went to Venice. Booker played Venice every year. The 2 times I coached at Booker before being the head coach, we played Venice. We played them once at Booker. It didn't go well. They played them again at Venice. It didn't go well, right? So, but at the end of the day, I just think from a revenue standpoint, to piggyback off what he said is, it's easier to make money when you play each other versus out here asking people for money.
And think about, again, go back to the AD side of things. Right. Why would you want to take a bus ride 4 hours to go play somebody? You can go 15 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it is and play a quality opponent right in your own backyard.
Well, I think we all understand, like, football pays the bills. Right? Yeah. I think we all understand that. And, especially at Booker, I can attest to that.
I think now, too, like, if you guys were to play Riverview, there's a lot of juice around the game right now.
Yeah,
Because Coach Littles is saying like, hey, they won't even play us.
They got
like,
good players though. You know?
Yeah,
It'll be a good game.
no, not the Riverview's always been good. Like they even last year we played in state championship. They played us tough. Both years. They're always well coached and play hard. But I think there's a lot of people wanting to see that game. To sort of say.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes even though this is amateur sports, that what people want to see. They want to see that. Hey, let's see what we can do. Let's go play those guys.
I can assure you, Riverview High School at Booker High School week 1, it'd be standing room only, and vice versa. Booker High School at Riverview, it'd be standing room only. I mean, if Riverview played Venice week 1, it'd be standing room only, especially like a week 1 game going into a new season. So, I think at the end of the day, we're going to continue to build our program, focus on our house, and kind of build our brand, our Soda Dame brand, and
Soda Dame. What's Soda Dame? You a Notre Dame fan?
No, sir. So I'm glad you asked. So Soda Dame was born by one of our assistant coaches, Coach Shavion Howe. He's our D-line coach. And here's really what it is in a nutshell, right? So when you take over a 1-29 program, you got to give them something to be excited about, right? You got to give them something they want to be a part of. So they asked me, one of the first things they asked me is, Coach, how are you going to go from 20 players to 50, let alone 85,
right.
So, and I told him, I said, well, first of all, we got to look good, right? So what I showed up in and what they tried to make us wear, it wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. So, and when I say Dr. Shelley is all in, I mean, there's not a better principal, in my opinion. You probably feel the same about yours, or Josh feels the same about his, or vice versa. But, she supports us. And I said, Doc, we need to give them something to be excited about. And she said, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, first of all, we need new helmets. We didn't have a Speed Flex, a F7, or an Axiom helmet in our program. These are the 3 top of the line.
Right.
And as you know, all the kids want to wear these nice helmets. So we went out and we could have got white. We could have got purple. We could have got all. I said, I want something that sticks out. So I told the guy, I said, I want the chrome gold. And I want to be known for our gold domes.
I have to say that's the ugliest helmet there is. Not because of Booker. Not because of Booker. I just got a really bad taste in my mouth about the gold helmets.
I could see why you
from St. Thomas. Not from Booker. No hate towards Booker. I'm just saying that. But those helmets make me want to throw up.
Well, mission accomplished. So at the end of the day, we bought the gold helmets, and you'd be surprised what a gold helmet can do, a brand new helmet can do to make a kid show up to practice. When you're talking about building culture and building a program. So one of my coaches said, I said, man, we look like Notre Dame out here. And he's like, nah, Coach, we're Soda Dame. And so long story short, I said, well, it's got to mean something, right? And here's the nuts and bolts of it. I said, we can't just hashtag it and it doesn't mean nothing. Right. It's got to have a meaning. And, what is Dr. Shelley known for? Like, what's her legacy? And her legacy is, the educational side, building a program or a school that has, the resources that it has with the college and career ready room, our mission statement being having all students of our program college or career ready upon graduation, the Booker Promise program and the Law Academy that she built, when she showed up. So I think her legacy was, the academic side of it. And I said, well, how do we tie the two? And what is Notre Dame known for? Right? You go to Notre Dame, you're going to get a prestigious degree. You're going to, have a great job upon graduation.
Oh, you definitely
and you're
are.
going to play a national quality brand of football. So it's kind of like just modeling that image. Like when you come to Booker, right, you're not only going to be the best on the field, but we're going to push you to be the best in the classroom.
Good.
We're going to get you the free tutors for the test. We're going to get you, the academic support you need. We're going to, there's literally a college and career ready room that is solely for finding scholarships for kids and creating avenues for kids that maybe don't have the avenues that they need to go to college.
Right.
So I just think the whole Soda Dame mantra has taken that persona, and we it's who we are. Like, I'll give you an example. They painted my helmets the wrong color. This time reconditioning coming around, and I made them take them back. I said, it's
got to be the right way.
We're going to be known for, we literally hashtag this, and it has real meaning to it.
Right.
So that's what Soda Dame is, and when I tell you it's taken off, it's taken off. If you go to a barbershop, which I don't know if you do the barbershop thing.
I do my own hair.
There we go. Me too. So when you walk
it's not hard.
Right. When you walk into the barbershop, down Orange Avenue or down Myrtle or down 41, they don't say Booker no more. They say there's Soda Dame. You know, we got people that wear shirts to our games that say Soda Dame on them, and we have families and community members hashtagging Soda Dame, and you know, hopefully this podcast helps get that message out of what Soda Dame really is, because it's much more than a catchy hashtag, and it's who we are. It's our culture.
It's success. You're promoting success on the field, success off the field, and that's John. About uniforms and all the things you know the same. This is probably ringing very true to you as far as your examples of what you're trying to do with the program, with the Roll Tribe hashtag and everything else that goes along with that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I said, he's done Coach Lill's done an awesome job promoting his program and getting people excited about it and getting people out. You know, most importantly is getting the kids in the program, and just little things like having a weightlifting meet and them showing up.
Right.
So we it's funny, we go down to Venice and we're at a weightlifting meet, and like I said, Coach has given me a lot of praise, but he's done a great job. 20 plus years at Venice, and but it's definitely, when I say we're going in the right direction, I think we're definitely going in the right direction. And Terrence, you have a relationship with Terrence. He does a great job with our weightlifting team, and I think Terrence went from 8 guys on the team to like 20 now, and next year we're gonna be in the 30 to 40 range with guys on the weightlifting team, and we make all our kids run track or do weightlifting, on top of the workouts they have to do with the strength conditioning staff.
Strength and conditioning, it's so much a part of what is the successful for
What
every
time
team.
are you guys going now, Coach? What's your summer?
Yeah, our summer schedule is they come to us they have breakfast at 8 a.m. We provide them breakfast, and then they report to me at 8:30, and we go 8:30 to 12.
Gotcha.
So
it's
that's
hot out there.
Yeah, it's not all straight working out. There's meetings involved. There's the weight room.
What time you guys go outside?
We're probably outside 10:45.
It's hot.
10:45.
It's
It's
a
hot.
breeze, dog. I'm outside there.
We're
What
out
time
of
do
there.
you guys go?
We go 7 a.m. and we're out of there by 10. But man, we're out in the field at the last part of it. I mean, 9:30. It's hot.
It's hot. No, for sure. It's
and this
hot.
time of the year, especially because that sun is up early and it goes all day,
Yeah.
and it does not relinquish.
I'll tell you what, it's better than 3 o'clock though.
Oh heck yeah!
So we get out, we get them in, we get them out. We try to create it to where they can have jobs. They can go get a job. They can, we got summer school kids trying to get ahead or, trying to get right. So, we just kind of create it to where they have ample amount of time to do whatever it is they need to do.
No doubt. Hey, you know what, John? You know where it's not hot? Inside the Tropicana field.
That's right. That's right.
So we've already discussed this about that, but I don't know if you're a big baseball fan or not, but the Rays indoor stadium, we say we want it to be that way forever, because we don't want to be outside for a baseball game or anything in the middle of the summertime. And with that, the Rays 51-24 right now, leading the AL East. Had a West Coast trip that they tripped around a little bit. The Padres got them a few times. The actually Oakland A's, soon to be the Las Vegas A's, got them a few times.
Is that a done deal?
Yeah, it's a done deal. Did you? This is now you'll get. I don't know if you saw this or not. The commissioner of the Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred, he's been involved in the negotiation of trying to get the A's right in Oakland or go to Vegas. So I guess that he sort of tipped his hand a little bit and waived the franchise moving penalty or whatever. It's like a couple, like $300 million if you want to move your franchise, you got to pay. He waived it so they could go to Vegas.
Wow.
And the Oakland people had this big protest where they called it a anti-protest, where they showed up for the game. They did not go. They went and got like 28,000 people there, made a big deal. And he goes on, they said, hey, the A's fans are showing some support for the A's. And he says, yeah, great. It's really, and very sarcastically said, it's nice to see they actually got an average Major League crowd for one of their games finally. And I was like,
does the guy who owned the Raiders own the A's?
No, they're not the same people.
So Oakland lost both their pro football team and their Major League Baseball team?
Yeah, and Golden State used to be in Oakland. Right. They moved to San Francisco. So Oakland went from being a player in all sports to nothing. And San Jose is far away too for hockey. So anyway, but the Rays they're still in first. The Orioles, man, they're still hanging in there, 5 games behind, and but as long as the Rays can stay hot or stay the way they're playing, like we said, they can go 500 the rest of the year. And they're
They just stay a little bit consistent. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
You a big baseball fan?
No, not really. I collect baseball cards, but that's about it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, it's good to know.
Yeah, and it's with baseball, it's been a hard sell in this area because football's so popular.
Right.
You know what I mean? But locally, I mean, it's still, I mean, baseball is a big deal in the state of Florida because you play it 12 months a year.
Right.
So all these kids that play, they play all these AAU stuff, and they play that for their high school. So it's a big deal for there's no doubt about that. So hopefully the Rays will keep on their hot streak. With that, we'll take our second break of the night, come back here and talk a little bit about what's going on in the United States of America with sports and all kinds of good stuff. We'll just touch a little bit on the World Series again, wrap up those playoffs of the NBA and NHL, and talk a little bit maybe about I threw one in there for you because you know you talked before. Ja Morant got his suspension handed down last week for how many games he's going to get. So maybe we'll talk a little bit about that situation. With that, we'll be back here in a few minutes on the 941 Sports Zone. See you in a minute.
It's the Out of This World sales event at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram, and we just launched the most stellar deals of the year. It's Jeep season, so blast off in the new Jeep Compass Limited from only $339 per month, or leave the world behind in the new Jeep Grand Cherokee from $429 per month. It's Ram season, so shoot for the stars in the new Ram 1500 Quad Cab from only $369 per month. Don't miss the Out of This World sales event going on now at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram in Venice. Who has Out of This World savings? Douglas does!
Back here on the 941 Sports Zone, and we're going to head into our national segment. We did touch a little bit on what I was going to talk about with the College World Series. Just give a quick update on everything. Right now, this is a Monday night, so we're going to do our taping. Stanford and Tennessee are playing in the elimination game on the one side of the bracket, and LSU and Wake Forest both won. Winner of that gets the upper hand, but as far as being in the winner's bracket, and they'll have to wait for the loser to play the winner of the other game, and so on. Other side, Florida did beat Oral Roberts and 5-4, and so they are now in control with being 2-0. And Oral Roberts will play TCU, who eliminated Virginia in the game the night before. So hopefully we get that Wake Forest Florida matchup we want to see. That'd be fun. We can get that one.
And that's the best out of 3, right?
Best out of 3. Yeah. So they go elimination, then the 2 out of 3 for the other side of it, which is good. NBA and NHL playoffs. We talked about it earlier. Also, it ended Nuggets 4-1 over the Heat in a pretty good game. The night that the last game was a pretty good game. I think every game was relatively competitive, but Denver's just tall. Are you a big basketball fan, Coach?
Yeah, I enjoy basketball. It was actually my first sport I picked up was basketball, and then I quickly realized I was too short and couldn't jump high enough. But big basketball fan, big LeBron fan.
Okay.
Let's just get this out of the way. I think Michael Jordan's the GOAT, so let's just get that out of the
way.
Yeah. LeBron's a close second. But yeah, I enjoy basketball. I watched the NBA Finals, and I thought Miami fought about as good as they could. But Denver's got some really good players, and they found a way to play as a team. They play really well as a team. Wouldn't you say, John?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Miami kind of, excelled a little bit. They played above themselves.
Little overachieved. Had some injuries,
which is good.
And I think going 7 with Boston, if they could have ended that thing with a sweep, right. I would like to see if they would have had that momentum or that energy going on.
I just think like that. We talk about culture on this show. Yeah. Like Boston's just got that tough culture. Like I'm not going down without a fight.
No,
and they fought for sure. And if Jason Tatum doesn't get hurt, they might have been playing Denver, which might have been a little bit better of a matchup size wise.
First play of that game, he rolls an ankle. That's definitely tough.
But I think it would have been tough for anybody to beat Denver in a 7-game series with Joker and all the guys they got, Murray and those guys, and when you got Pope hitting for 20 a night or 18 a night, it's going to be tough to beat those guys.
And there was times in that series they just couldn't miss, especially towards the end of the games, like they were on fire.
And Jokic is just, I would fully admit that I watched very little of him leading up to from this year in particular. His game is something else.
Nah, he's special, man. I think I don't I'm not a big basketball savant or anything like that, but
sure.
He can shoot the 3, he can pass it. He's got some magic in him. He's got some bird in him. He's can get to the rim however he wants. I think he's a really good player, and he's young. If I'm not mistaken, he's a young player, and he's got some time to grow in the league.
No doubt. I will say this. I did like his very honest reactions to some of the things that were kind of going on around him after it was over. I don't know if you saw, but he they told him it was the parade he has to do. He's like, and he was serious, like, what parade are you talking about? He looks like, when is this parade? And they said Thursday. He's like, I gotta go home. He's like, I gotta go home. But he showed up and he went out and he said, I'm glad I'm at this effing parade, he said. So he definitely turned it around with the crowd. So, but yes, it was good. And then the NHL, Vegas they were the better team. They just played really well, and they kind of handled their business, and they won 4-1 over the Panthers. So both NBA and NHL are done. We're down to baseball only in the pro sports, and then we are in that point where football is definitely you can see it on the horizon with the OTAs and the mini camps.
Yep.
The teams are doing some stuff, and a lot of things are percolating in free agency and different things like that. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting NFL year with a lot of shifting going on, and I'm a Jets fan. Full disclosure.
There you go.
But
you guys got a chance this year.
Aaron Rodgers, man. That's
I don't know,
it's,
Coach. You guys get Aaron Rodgers, you're still like the second or third best team in your division.
Well, that's the funny part about it, is that because we had to get Aaron Rodgers to get to compete at that point. So, and that's assuming New England's going to be no good. You know what I mean? So they're
I think they'll always be tough. They'll always be tough to beat. You know,
they're always tough on a quarterback too.
Right,
they're always tough on a quarterback.
Do you root for a specific NFL team?
Well, I kind of root for greatness. So
There you go.
right now I'm an Alabama fan in college.
There we go.
And then I was a big time New England fan with Belichick and Brady together. And then I was a Tampa Bay fan.
And now you got
Brady
to
was
find.
there. Now I don't know. I think I might be a Jets fan.
Go
Because I
ahead.
love Aaron.
I mean,
I
if
love
that's true,
Aaron Rodgers.
You're a Chiefs fan then right now. If that's
No, I don't like the Chiefs. I don't know why. I don't like the Chiefs.
Is it Mahomes or is it Kelsey?
I don't know. I don't like the Chiefs. I don't like the Chiefs.
Well, like I said, well, you'll. I'm sure.
I like their offense. I do like the stuff they do on offense, but I don't. They're not someone I watch. I'm going to watch the Jets though, because I
everyone's
love
going
Aaron
to watch
Rodgers.
the Jets. Yeah, I mean,
He is special.
the thing about from a Jets fan perspective, you want him to win, but from a national perspective, win or lose, that's the story.
Yeah.
You could,
I don't like Aaron Rodgers' body language. That bothers me a little bit. But God, he can throw the ball.
Oh, he
can throw it.
He's and the one thing where they play in New Jersey, it's not necessarily the most conducive passing situation. They get some winds up there and it's cold.
It won't matter.
He played in Green Bay.
He played in Green Bay. That's nothing. He's like, this is easy.
I think he can survive in New
Yeah,
York,
there's
for
no
sure.
doubt about that. Also, we're going to about the golf. There was a U.S. Open was probably the big story of the week.
Did you pick a golfer?
I did pick Patrick Cantlay. He came in 14th.
Oh, that's bad.
But I kind of hedged my bet by saying a California player would win, and I had Ricky Fowler as the California player who might have pulled it out, and then he's kind of fell apart the last day. It was a great story. He went out and they broke the record for the lowest score. Two guys back to back on Thursday shot 62. Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele, and then kind of a survival thing because they just make the course harder and harder as the days go by. They make everything greens get harder, everything gets harder. So, but the guy, not a newcomer, guy won this year, but a younger player, Wyndham Clark, ended up beating Rory McIlroy by a stroke, and I thought McIlroy was going to maybe pull it out because he hadn't won a major championship in 9 years. So he had a lot going on but it was good. It was entertaining. Thought it was cool that it was prime time.
Right.
You know, out in California, they were able to throw it up on a primetime deal. But one thing kind of weirdly happened. They had got a little delay on Saturday, and the last group finished almost in the dark. And guys like, I bogeyed that hole because it was in the damn dark. He's like, I couldn't see. But you know, you're trying to do something that's for the fans and whatnot. So it ended up being a little bit of an issue.
I think that the leaders teed off here at like 6 p.m.
6
on TV.
6:30 it was.
But I mean, obviously they're out in California, but still, pretty late.
But all it takes is a couple of get a ruling from a guy and somebody starts playing slow, and then you're into the darkness. And they could have said we'll come back in the morning. They could have stopped it. They could have chosen, but they didn't want to come back anymore. That's the worst thing for golfers, to come back in the morning and try to finish your round. It's not what you want to do. So with that, the last part of this national segment is John Morant.
Right.
So we talked a little bit in the break about it, but John Morant, from all the
what are your thoughts on
shenanigans.
John Morant? Like, if you're handing out the suspension, you're the commissioner. What do you hand out?
I mean, I think that's tough. That's relative. I mean, I'm not, so it's hard to say. But, I mean, I think that, we don't know the entirety of the story. I think we know what they want us to know. But, I don't know. I'm not one to say he should have got more or less or, to speak on it, he's this kind of person or that kind of person. I'll say this, though. I think, he's, got to understand and mature a little bit in his role.
Absolutely.
And understand that you have generational wealth and an opportunity to change your family's life forever. And, that some of the decisions he's making, via social media and, once again, I'm not the one to tell him how to live his life, but I would protect what is going to change my family's life forever at all costs. And that would be my advice to him or to any young player that, accumulates that kind of money. Whatever you're doing to get that money, you want to protect that image or protect the ability to earn that money. So, I think that hopefully this is a lesson in his life, because I think he's already lost some money on some shooting.
Yeah, this is the second time.
The sponsors are running from him.
Right. I think, and we've seen, comeback stories or success stories from athletes who have made some mistakes. So hopefully he can do that. But, I think this is kind of like the rubber meets the road. I think if this is a continued
It's got to
problem,
be.
I think the commissioner's going to take it to the next level.
25 games was a suspension. And one thing I'm surprised a little bit about, I know that the NBA is usually the ones that hand out the fines and the suspensions and all those different things. But, the Memphis ownership didn't really get involved in the process from what I've seen. That's going to be your guy. You hope to be, he's going to be, I would be like, look, man, we need to sit down because we want you here for a long time. But how are we going to give you that max contract at, $500 million and you can't stop, acting the fool. It's foolish when the stuff he's doing.
I think it's the same concept, right? Like they're going to do whatever they can to protect their investment.
Sure.
So I think Ja's running out of time and, needs to be a little more mature and make some smarter choices. But he's definitely got an opportunity to make it right, and hopefully he does.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I would have a hard time letting him back. Just because not because actually what he did, but just the actions I seen him like on the court, like throwing up gang signs and that. I don't know if there's a spot for that, especially with all the youth watching and being a role model. And even though you're not a role model, but you don't maybe not choose to be a role model, you are. If you're in that spot, you are. And that being the second time, like I don't know. I would find that tough. I always ask, like, what would happen if it was a quarterback in the NFL doing that? To me, I think they would be done.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's there.
I think I don't mean to cut.
Yeah.
I think it depends on who the quarterback is. But
well, true.
I get your point.
But there was a quarterback, Kaepernick, that they basically blackballed from the NFL because he took a knee during the national anthem.
Right. Right.
But you imagine like Mahomes scoring a touchdown and throwing up Crip signs and that. I just don't know. I think it would be bad for him.
No, it's 100%. I think with Morant, one of the things that I, surround yourself with the right people sometimes too. And he's the money guy. They're yesing him to death. I'm sure everybody in his world is telling him everything's great, and it's hard to unwind some of that sometimes.
Right.
And I think what's going to end up happening, he needs to, I'll tell you a guy I think that needs to talk to him is a guy named Gilbert Arenas. I remember Gilbert Arenas pulled a gun in a locker room years ago, and it was whatever, he got in a lot of trouble. It was a lot of trouble.
Michael Vick, dogfighting.
Right. Those are the guys, I don't know if a sports psychiatrist or somebody is going to, I think somebody who's lived it and done something similar to what he's doing can sit down and say, this is what it cost me. It cost me, dollars and cents, reputation. It cost me all the different things. It probably cost him, continuing his career down the road. All of a sudden, like, do I want this guy? And that's what I say about Ja Morant. He may be able to unwind this and start doing things right, but he's already cost himself an next contract a lot of money, I would think. Do you take the risk and say, hey, we're going to sign you to a lengthy contract that's going to put you in a whole nother level of money that you're already set for life. Right. You're set for life at this point, but the next level is something that's absolutely crazy generational money. And tell them that, but who are you going to be? What's your legacy going to be? A guy who couldn't grow up enough to do it? And it's tough. I don't know if you guys think the same thing. Maybe a guy like that would be better to talk to him than a coach or GM or even a commissioner in the NBA.
No, he definitely could use some mentorship from a guy who's been through that. So that's a good point.
Yeah. So like I said, but again, great. I mean, no doubt his skills.
For sure.
I mean, skills are ridiculous. I mean, he's a guy you want. I mean, if he gets with them, the Memphis was an up and coming team this year. Gosh, if you get him out there and he's coming in all 6'2" of them or 6'1" of him and come flying down the court, dunking and shooting and doing whatever he can do. He has a little bit of Iverson's game in him, but maybe a little more jumping ability. Right. But
Iverson, that's one of my all-time.
That's what
favorites.
I say. Yeah, that's had to be your guy.
So being from Hampton Roads, you know,
yeah.
Mike Vick and Allen Iverson were like our childhood heroes.
And Allen Iverson, a guy that you could talk to too, because he had some issues in high school that he had to overcome. Sure. Cost him a lot, you know.
Sure. Iverson said he's a better football player than basketball player.
He was.
Yeah.
So Allen Iverson led his high school to back-to-back state championships, and he was the quarterback. And I mean, this dude would just drop back and sling it like 80 yards.
Yeah.
So he was way
I've
better
watched
in
his
football.
clips. It's pretty impressive.
And
he played both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Played safety too. Yeah.
And so you think about him, and they said, I mean, he was. I mean, Mike Vick was unbelievable, but they said Iverson could have been every bit as unbelievable as
Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was special.
Yeah.
He was special in both, but I mean, it would have been nice to see him. You imagine him in today's football with all the zone read and all the RPOs and schemes. It'd have been special.
In college, man, that would have been something else to see. So, yeah. But anyway, so hopefully John Morant gets his act together, and we're talking about him winning rings someday or doing something on that side of things. Sure. With that, we'll take our last break of the night and come back with our What's Bugging Me segment and our predictions here at Douglas Jeep with the 941 Sports Zone. Be back shortly.
It's the Out of This World sales event at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram, and we just launched the most stellar deals of the year. It's Jeep season, so blast off in the new Jeep Compass Limited from only $339 per month, or leave the world behind in the new Jeep Grand Cherokee from $429 per month. It's Ram season, so shoot for the stars in the new Ram 1500 Quad Cab from only $369 per month. Don't miss the Out of This World sales event going on now at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram in Venice. Who has Out of This World savings? Douglas does!
Back here at 941 Sports Zone from Douglas Jeep. Again, thanks to Monty and his staff for having us each and every week to do our tapings here, and they do a wonderful job with getting us all set up and accommodated. So hopefully that Monty sells a lot of cars, gets good mojo out of that. With that, John, that's our What's Bugging Me section of our program, and so I'll start with you as usual. What's bugging you this week?
Oh man, I got a couple things. One, we brought up John Morant. He bugs me. Two, it's so hot outside that really bothers me. Like
you were really sort of getting out the heat.
I mean, you got to start the car to get in the car, but then even when you go out to start the car, you're already sweating. It's just bad. It's a bad deal. It's really hot outside. But the real thing. So I got a little story behind this. So I had someone call me, say, "Hey, Coach, I own this company and I need some workers. You ask some of your players if they want a summer job."
Sure.
All right. So I said, well, tell me the deal. What's the pay? $15 an hour. Okay. But Coach, if they show up on time, it's $17 an hour.
Oh, wow.
So I'm sitting here thinking, what? So being on time's an option in the workforce. And so I'm sitting here as a coach, like preaching, like, you know how I am on time.
Oh, no. It's like 5 minutes late.
If you're not on time, like you're not getting on the bus. Like you're not going to play the game. And they put a lot of work into playing the game.
Sure.
And you're late on game day. You pack your stuff up. You ain't playing.
Right.
But our society now has accepted that. I guess because no one wants to work.
Incentive to come to work on time. $2 extra.
You get a raise if you're on time. I didn't know that was an option. I never knew coming to work on time was an option.
What if you get there early? Another dollar.
$17 compared to $15 if you're on time. Who wouldn't show up on time?
Well, that's a good question.
And if you don't show up on time, will they just wait for you?
I guess so. But so now you say now you almost like let's get six kids a job and see who makes it.
I mean, you own a company? Do you have issues with that?
Yes.
Really?
But my issues aren't
just showing up.
Everybody shows up. My issues is that everybody has, how do I put this? Different things in their lives going on. Like I got one employee, high school student. He had to take him to school every day. So we like to start at 8, but sometimes the drop off doesn't go right or whatever's going wrong. So there is some of that. I have some folks who have that picking kids up from school, 2 days a week when they have sharing custody and stuff. So I allow for some wiggle room. I have some flexibility. Now I can do that because they all come to one spot.
Maybe you need to do this. You need to just give them, hey, it's this much an hour, but if you're on time and you're there every day, it's this much an hour.
I don't know if it would matter with my crew.
All right, well,
just telling you.
Well, that bothers me.
That's
I would like a raise.
valid.
I get to school I get to work early.
You need to tell.
I don't get anything.
I
don't even get a pat. I don't even get a pat in the back.
You should get $4 extra.
Just give me something, a pat on the back or a smile.
Some candy.
Yeah. Our kids have to get to school on early. They don't get any. They don't get a bonus.
Yeah, no. Again, it's a weird, and it's a
strange.
lot of this is post COVID.
I could not believe it. I was what? If you show up on time, it's this.
The negotiation to get people to work.
It's this, but if you show up on time, okay.
Yeah, it's different.
For sure.
Right. Coach Littles?
I kind of put me on the spot here.
I know.
What's bugging me?
It's got to be Riverview.
No, Riverview runs a great program. Really, really excited for their future. So for me, I think you guys giving me a platform to talk about Booker High School, and it's not something that bugs me every day, but when's the next time I'm going to have a platform to talk about it? So I think
with this performance, it could be 2 weeks from now.
What bugs me a little bit is the perception of Booker High School.
Okay.
Right. And what do I mean by that? Whether you think you have a preconceived conception because of where it's located, or a preconceived conception because of the demographic of the students. And I think there are some of the most, I've worked at a lot of schools, either as an assistant coach or a head coach, and now I'm the AD and the football coach, but there are some of the best educators that I've ever worked with. They go above and beyond for our kids. If you fail at Booker High School, you try to do that.
I agree. If you fail, I think you fail at any high school.
Right. I think, there's just the misconception of, what Booker is or where it is or how it is. And it's one of the most well-ran schools I've ever been in. And Dr. Shelley is a no-nonsense principal, and she's going to give you all your tools to be successful, but you're definitely going to show up on time.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to do what you're supposed to do. So I think if I had to pick something to relate to where I'm here to talk about is Booker High School is an elite place with elite people. And I think that as we continue to build our program, because we get a lot of the pub or the notoriety, like, we talk about Booker Promise and it goes on deaf ears, but, Booker wins a state title in football, I'll have more interviews booked than I've ever had. So, I think that, what bugs me is the preconception of Booker High School, and it's an elite place with elite people, and I'm really excited to be a part of the future there. And see what the next 30 years bring, so, and I also agree with you, it's extremely hot.
Yes,
I gotta start my truck with the automatic starter. And sometimes
I need that. I don't have that. I need that.
Yeah, you need a new truck at some point in time.
Yeah, it bothers me to walk out to start it. I'm already hot.
And that's a good. What's bugging me? See, it's just a good one. Trust me, it's a good one. What's bugging me? Recruiting's going on right now. It seems like recruiting is a 12-month-a-year thing with high school football. I'm talking high school football in particular, and reading all these things on social media, University of Florida, other schools. Hey, man, we got this guy, and we got these 3 linebackers, and everything's going to be great. 2 years from now, we're going to be the best team in the country. No, you're not. It's part of it, but you've got to be able to coach. You've got to be able to coach those kids. The assumption being made that all of a sudden
you got to be able to keep them too.
Yeah. The transfer portal, everything. You don't get, they're transferring now. They're committing, and they're not even making it to the commitment. They're on their way to the next school before they can, because I don't know if I want to go there now because this guy's going to go there or whatever else is happening. So the idea that all of a sudden that recruiting is the only reason why you're going to be good makes no sense to me. And it bugs me to think that there's people out there thinking, oh, well, this is it. Can't wait to buy my tickets for 2025 because you're going to be good then. What about 2024 and 2023? There's a lot of things going out there. So that's what's bugging me as far as that's concerned. You're not going to be great just because you recruit well. It has to do with what you do in the coach, in the culture, and everything else. That means a lot. All right, predictions, John. You got anything?
Predictions.
There's nothing going on. What are you going to predict at this point?
I've already predicted World Series.
Right.
Back, but I don't know. Let's go. Let's go Booker. Let's go Booker. We'll predict. I'm predicting the regular season. I'm predicting 8-2.
8-2.
Now,
Okay.
that's. I mean, I don't want. I'm not saying that. I don't want to say 10-0. I don't want to say. I think 8-2. I think we're still on the rise.
District championship.
Yeah,
though.
and I think they make a little run in the playoffs.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
All right.
depending on I don't know who the region is. Is Cocoa in the region?
No, we would play Cocoa in the Final Four.
Who's the big dog in the region?
Bishop Varel.
Oh, so then you got a chance. I mean, that's a legit.
They got a
chance.
quarterback down there. I heard about
Yeah,
that.
he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Who's that?
I don't know the kid's name, but he
Oh
can
yeah,
sling
yeah,
it.
I do. I've heard that.
FSU's looking at him or something like
Yeah.
that.
Nah, he can sling it.
Yeah.
He's got legit arm talent. He's a good player.
So I'm going 8. Let's go 8-2.
I got it.
and
8-2.
A regional championship appearance.
Here we go.
Champs.
Appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Any predictions? Or you want to just go with his?
Nah, I'm not gonna predict my own. Okay, we'll do Venice.
There you go. Yeah, give it back to
Predict your
him.
own because you can't predict your own.
All right.
No.
All right, so we'll go Venice.
Okay.
Okay, so I see 9-1.
Oh, coach, come on.
I see 9-1. Is Chaminade still on the schedule?
No.
No. All right, I'm going 9-1.
Okay.
I see 9-1. All right, and I see a state title appearance, which
Okay.
would make appearance for you would make 4, or
4.
as the head
4?
coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be 4.
Right.
3 in a row.
3 in a row.
That would be nice. Treat the three-peat.
3-peat.
Yeah. And then can I make one more prediction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2024 schedule.
Yes.
Venice at Booker.
I don't know.
We'll see.
We don't travel well. Or
We'll
often.
see.
We don't travel well or often.
Well, at least 2024 Riverview at Booker. At least.
I don't see that happening either. I don't know. I would like to see that, but I don't know.
Well, we need to start getting working.
We should bring back though. You know what? We should bring back the jamboree, like the spring jamboree. We should bring that back.
That was
Like
cool back in the day, man.
you know,
I like that.
What is that? You have time to explain that real quick?
Yeah.
What is that?
Well,
I know the
back
jamboree is,
back
but
when
what
I
is it?
played. Back when I played, it was Mooney, Riverview, Sarasota,
Booker.
and Booker.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 went to one school, and
Played a quarter.
they played a quarter.
Yeah.
No, you can switch that and play a half. You just start early, but I think that would be really good for a couple reasons. One being revenue for whatever school that year, and you just rotate where it's at.
Rotate every year.
You rotate where it's at, and so whoever's, typically in spring you're not making any money anyway. I mean, you're making very little. But if you rotate each year, I mean, once every 4 years, you're going to get a pretty good gate, a really good gate, and then on top of that, all the recruiters can go to one spot and see all four teams. And I think I don't know. I think we should bring that back somehow.
All right.
And I also think we should have like a JV county championship deal. And I just think there's a lot of counties that do stuff, and I think that promotes our sport and I think it's good for the kids to have, especially like in the lower levels, like they're not playing for a championship, but if they're playing for a JV county championship or whatever it may be, I think that's good for them.
Yeah.
I tried to do that, and like everyone's like, I don't know about that. But I just, I mean, like I think it would be good for the kids to.
They're something to play
Right.
for. Yeah.
Right.
No doubt, because it just ends. It's
Yeah.
like, well, it's kind of. Then
But if at the end of the year
you went 8-0. Yeah.
like you
nothing.
could do,
Boom.
you could play a half, and like you get seeded
Mm-hmm.
by your regular season record, and you got all 4 of them there, and you play, and you have a championship at the end of the night, a champion at the end of the night. I think that's good.
Yeah, I agree. No,
The
there's no
spring
doubt.
champion.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the JV.
Oh, the JV.
Yeah, the JV.
Yeah.
The spring would just be. That's more of like. I think to just be good just to have like a one central place where all the recruiters can go for one day
Yeah.
and see
Combine
all the talent.
Yeah. No doubt.
Nah, that'd be good. That'd be good. We should look into that.
So my prediction tonight is going to be a little bit of what I'm going to go specifically and say that Florida is going to win the national championship in baseball. I think they're kind of, with the way they've been winning, they might be a team of destiny this year, and so I get Florida to win the national championship in baseball. So that's my prediction for this week. And with that, we are wrapping up the 941 Sports Zone. Coach Scotty Littles, thank you for being here. Best of luck to you. We are going to have you back. If you had fun with us, we'll have you back for sure.
Appreciate it.
Until we get closer to football season, we'll
sure.
do that for sure. And John, as always, pleasure having you here.
Sir.
Yeah, no doubt. With that, thank you guys for watching us tonight. We'll see you next time on the 941 Sports Center.